Hello, my angel. Today we are unlocking 30 magnificent M words that will make your vocabulary mighty. These 30 words are absolutely top words for cracking almost any competitive exam out there. Now, we've done the hard work for you. We've looked at official word lists, previous year papers, and massive question banks. So, if you master these 30 words, you're not just prepared, you're destined to excel. And of course, if you want to sound like a fluent native English speaker, then you're going to hear these words in conversations, in podcasts and news debates every single day. So, let's not waste another moment. Let's jump right into 30 meanings, 30 example sentences, synonyms, antonyms to make you a master of English. Ready? Subscribe now and smash that bell icon so you never miss a word. Let's conquer these words and conquer the world. Our first 5 high-frequency M words are all the bad people. Malicious, malevolent, malign, maleficence and maladroit. Now these words all come from the root or prefix mal. Mal meaning bad, evil and wrong. You know this root from software that is called malware, and you know that is dangerous. So let's take up our first word of today, malicious. Imagine someone does something bad, not by accident, but on purpose to hurt you. That's malicious. It's a deliberate intention to cause harm. It could be a malicious comment, maybe to hurt your feelings, a malicious rumor to spoil your reputation, or a malicious virus to damage your computer. Example, she spread a malicious rumor about her classmate on purpose to harm them. Quick quiz. What is the difference between malicious and mean? Now, being mean can also be a one-time thing, and it can also be accidental. But being malicious implies a deeper, more deliberate evil intention. Synonyms of malicious are spiteful, malevolent, nasty, vicious and hateful. Antonyms are benevolent, kind, good-hearted, benign and harmless. Word number 2 is malevolent. The word malevolent describes a person's character. A malevolent person is someone who's truly evil at heart. They actively wish for bad things to happen to others and they enjoy seeing people suffer. Memory hack. Break up malevolent into mal plus volent. Mal means bad, volent means to wish. So malevolent literally means wishing bad things upon others. Example, the witch in the story had a malevolent smile. Quick quiz. What is the difference between malevolent and malicious? Malicious is used for an action, like a malicious lie or a malicious attack by a virus. Malevolent is used for a person's character, for their overall nature. Synonyms of malevolent are evil-minded, malicious, wicked, evil and hateful. Antonyms are benevolent, kind, compassionate and good-natured. Our next word is malign. To malign someone is to say bad and false things, like mal things about them. You want to damage their reputation? It's like character assassination. These are all lies or exaggeration. Memory hack. Think of the gossip magazine that maligns celebrities by spreading bad stories about them. The politician was maligned by his opponents during the campaign. Don't malign your friend just because you're angry. Quick quiz. What is the difference between malign and criticize? To criticize is to point out faults, which can be even sometimes fair and constructive. But to malign is to say false, unfair and bad things on purpose to cause harm. Synonyms of malign are disparage, defame, slander, run down and vilify. Antonyms are praise, compliment, glorify and defend. Our next word is malfeasance. This is a formal word. It's often used in law and politics. It means wrongdoing, especially by a public official or someone in a position of power. It's not a small mistake. It's a serious, illegal act of using your power for bad purposes like corruption or abuse of authority. Memory hack. Think of malpractice by a public official. So both malpractice and malfeasance start with mal and involve professional wrongdoing. The municipal corporation was charged with malfeasance after taking bribes. The company investigated the manager for financial malfeasance. Synonyms of malfeasance are wrongdoing, misconduct, corruption, illegality, and malpractice. Antonyms are integrity, honesty, probity, and ethical conduct. Bad word number 5 is maladroit. Maladroit means clumsy or ineffective, not just physically. It can mean clumsy even in social situations like saying the wrong things. Memory hack. This is the easiest one because you're going to remember the word adroit from our A words lesson. Adroit means skillful. Therefore, maladroit means not skillful and clumsy. And I'm going to drop a link below to all our vocabulary lessons for you to complete your exam preparation. I was completely maladroit at my first dance class. She is politically maladroit and often offends people without meaning to. Quick quiz. What is the difference between maladroit and stupid? Stupid implies lack of intelligence. Maladroit implies lack of skill, lack of grace or tact. A brilliant scientist can be maladroit at talking to strangers. Synonyms of maladroit are clumsy, inept, bungling, awkward, and incompetent. Antonyms are adroit, skillful, adept, deft, and proficient. And now it's shout out time. This week, a big shout out to Patel Bandhu, who says that they watched our videos at least 10 times to prepare for their exams. God bless you and wish you all the success in your exams. And if you too want a shout out in our next video, leave me a comment below and share your learning journey with me. Our next set of M words are all related to size, scale, quantity, and quality. And the words are magnitude, myriad, marginal, mundane, monotonous, melancholy, magnanimous, and munificent. Let's take up the first one of them. Magnitude. Magnitude simply means how big, important, or serious something is. It's not just physical size. It can be the size of a problem, the strength of an earthquake, or the importance of an event. Memory hack. Magnitude comes from the Latin word magnus, which means great or large. This is the same root that we see in magnify, which means to make something look larger. Think of it as the wow factor. If something makes you say, wow, that's huge, or wow, that's serious, chances are it either has magnitude or attitude. Example, the magnitude of the earthquake was 7.5, causing widespread damage. When I first saw the Himalayas, I was stunned by the magnitude of the mountains. I felt so small in comparison. Synonyms of magnitude are immensity, vastness, enormity, scale, and importance. Antonyms are smallness, insignificance, and triviality. Our next word is myriad. A myriad is a crazy huge number of things, too many to count easily. It's a beautiful word to replace a lot. It's not just 10 or 100, it feels like thousands. ChetChat offers you myriad opportunities for learning English, and I hope you're using them. The night sky has a myriad of stars. At a big Indian wedding, you will meet myriad relatives that you've never met before. Synonyms of myriad are multitude, host, countless number, array, and infinite number. Antonyms are few, handful, scarcity, and limited number. Our next word is marginal. Marginal has two kind of main meanings. One is unimportant or small. So small that it doesn't make an important difference. And the second meaning is to be at the edge, at the margin or border of something. Think of the margin of the page. Example, your improvement was marginal. It means it was just at the very edge of passing. The government's policy help people living in marginal communities. Now we are talking about the communities that are living on the edge of society. Synonyms of marginal are slight, small, minimal, negligible, borderline and peripheral. Antonyms are significant, substantial, major, considerable and central. The next word is mundane. Mundane describes something that is very ordinary, boring or routine. It's the opposite of special, exciting or extraordinary. Think of it as everyday life stuff. Mundane tasks are the routine and boring things that you have to do every day, like washing dishes, making your bed or clearing up your room. Memory hack. Think of mundane as Monday. For many people, Monday is the most mundane day of the week. Example, I have to do mundane tasks like washing clothes and cleaning my room. After his adventures, he found it hard to adjust to a mundane office job. Quick quiz. What is the difference between mundane and boring? They are very similar. Now, mundane often implies something is boring because it is ordinary and it is part of a repeated routine. Boring is a more general term, like a movie can be boring. It need not be part of a routine. Synonyms of mundane are ordinary, commonplace, routine, dull, tedious, everyday and humdrum. Antonyms are extraordinary, unusual, exciting, fascinating and thrilling. The next high frequency M word is monotonous. If something is monotonous, it is boring because it never changes. It's the feeling you get when you do the same thing in the same way over and over again. Memory hack. Monotonous comes from monos, meaning single or alone, and tonos, meaning tone or sound. So monotonous literally means one tone. Imagine a song with just one tone. That would be incredibly boring to listen to. A pronunciation tip. It is not monotonous. Say monotonous. The focus is on the no. Monotonous. Example, the factory job was monotonous. He did the same task every single day. She spoke in a monotonous voice and half the class fell asleep. Synonyms of monotonous are tedious, repetitive, dull, unchanging, humdrum. Antonyms are varied, interesting, exciting, stimulating and dynamic. Our next word is melancholy. Melancholy is a deep, gentle and thoughtful sadness. It's not a sharp, angry sadness. It's more like a quiet feeling of sadness that you might feel when you're remembering something beautiful from the past, like a nostalgic or poetic sadness. The old abandoned house had a melancholy beauty. He was filled with melancholy after his friend moved away. Synonyms of melancholy are sorrowful, sad, pensive, gloomy, wistful and blue. Antonyms are cheerful, joyful, happy, upbeat and ecstatic. The next high frequency M word is magnanimous. A magnanimous person is very generous, kind and forgiving, especially towards someone they have defeated. It means that they are being noble and big-hearted. It's not just about giving money. It's about showing a generous spirit. Memory hack. Magnanimous comes from magnus meaning great and animus meaning spirit or soul. So magnanimous literally means great-hearted. A magnanimous winner who shakes their opponent's hand and says, "You played well." Synonyms of magnanimous are generous, charitable, benevolent, noble and big-hearted. Antonyms are selfish, mean-spirited, petty and stingy. Word number 13 is munificent. Munificent means extremely generous, especially with money. You know, these words are all sort of similar but slightly different. Think of munificent as giving a huge, lavish gift that is much more than expected. The word is all about the scale of generosity. It's not just giving, it's giving a huge, lavish and impressive amount. The university received a munificent donation to build a new library. My munificent grandfather didn't just give me a birthday present, he gave me an entire trip to Disneyland. Quick quiz. What is the difference between munificent and magnanimous? There is a very key difference. A winner is magnanimous, a donor is munificent. Synonyms of magnanimous are generous, lavish, bountiful, liberal and extravagant. Antonyms are miserly, stingy, niggardly, cheap and parsimonious. Our next group of words all relate to change, effect and process. They are mitigate, moderate, momentum, materialize, mutable and unremitting. Let's take up the first one, mitigate. To mitigate means if something is already bad, to make it less bad. It's like putting a soft cushion on a hard fall. You can't stop the fall, but you can make it hurt less. Planting trees helps to mitigate the effects of climate change. It makes it less severe. The doctor gave her medicine to mitigate the pain. In law, there is a phrase called mitigating circumstances, which means these are the circumstances that make the crime less serious. Synonyms of mitigate are alleviate, reduce, lessen, diminish and soften. Antonyms are aggravate, intensify, worsen, exacerbate and increase. High frequency M word number 15 is moderate. Moderate is both a verb and an adjective. As an adjective, moderate describes something that is average, not too much, not too little, like in between, medium. It's the Goldilocks word, not too hot, not too cold, but just right. As a verb, to moderate means to preside over a discussion. Think of a referee in a game. She was asked to moderate the panel discussion between two politicians. Must have been a tough job. I try to keep a moderate approach to eating sweets. Enjoy them, but don't have too many. Although I do have a sweet tooth. Idiomatically, we hear the phrase in moderation. It means not too much. It's okay to eat chocolate, but only in moderation. Synonyms of moderate are regulate, control, soften, temper, average, reasonable, medium and mild. Antonyms are extreme, excessive, intense and immoderate. Our next M word is momentum. Momentum is the full speed ahead force. It allows something to keep moving or growing once it has started. Think of a big heavy ball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it gets bigger and faster and it becomes harder to stop. That is momentum. Momentum is a word used in physics. A rolling ball has momentum. And in life, a successful project, for example, has momentum. After 2 back-to-back wins, our team has the momentum to win the championship. After winning the first few state elections, the political party felt a wave of momentum heading into the national elections. Synonyms of momentum are impetus, drive, thrust, energy, force and pace. Antonyms are stagnation, inertia and standstill. The next word is materialize. To materialize means to appear suddenly or to become real. It's when an idea, a dream or a plan finally happens in the real world. It's like magic. A ghost materializes out of thin air. In business, a deal materializes when it's finally signed. Memory hack. Materialize is like the material which is the physical stuff, okay? And put the suffix "ize" meaning to become. So materialize means to become physical or to become real. We talked about going on a trip for years and it finally materialized last summer. The promised investment never materialized, so the project was cancelled. Synonyms of materialize are appear, emerge, come about, happen, realize and take shape. Antonyms are disappear, vanish, dissolve and fail. The next word is mutable. If something is mutable, it is able to change or likely to change. The opposite is immutable, unchanging. Now, mutable describes things that are not fixed or permanent. Like memory hack, mutable comes from the word mutate. Mutate simply means to change. So mutable means able to mutate, able to change into something new. The weather is mutable, it changes every day. Fashion trends are mutable. What's popular this year will be different next year. Synonyms of mutable are changeable, variable, unstable, fluctuating, and volatile. Antonyms are immutable, unchanging, fixed, constant, and permanent. The next word is unremitting. Unremitting describes something that never stops or never slows down. It is constant and relentless. It often describes something negative that is exhausting because it never lets up, like unremitting pain, unremitting pressure, or unremitting rain. Memory hack. The word remission is used in the case of cancer. It means to temporarily decrease or to send back the disease. So unremitting means it is not relaxing, it is not slacking, it never stops being as intense. My headache has lasted 3 days without any relief. The pain is unremitting. You will succeed through unremitting hard work. Synonyms of unremitting are relentless, constant, continual, incessant, perpetual, and unwavering. Antonyms are intermittent, occasional, sporadic, remitting, and letting up. Our next set of M words are all related to character and personality traits like meticulous, mercurial, morose, maverick, and pragmatic. Word number 20 is meticulous. A meticulous person is extremely careful, precise, and pays attention to every tiny detail. They don't like to make mistakes, and they will double or triple check their work to make sure it's perfect. It's not just about being careful, it's about having a deep desire for order and accuracy. A meticulous writer who checks every spelling and grammar rule. My art teacher was so meticulous that if our shading was even slightly uneven, she would make us do it all over again. It was frustrating then, but I'm grateful for it now. Quick quiz. What is the difference between meticulous and careful? Now, careful is a general term. Meticulous is an intense, next level version of carefulness. It's focused on the tiny details. Synonyms of meticulous are thorough, punctilious, scrupulous, painstaking, and exact. Antonyms are careless, sloppy, negligent, and slapdash. The next word is mercurial. A mercurial person has a mood that changes quickly and unpredictably. They can be happy and friendly one moment and angry and sad the next moment. You never know what to expect with them. Memory hack. Mercurial comes from the element mercury or quicksilver. It's a liquid metal and it moves quickly. So mercurial is like a person whose feelings change as fast as mercury in a thermometer. The film director was known for his mercurial temper. His crew never knew if he would praise them or yell at them. My boss was mercurial, friendly in the morning and shouting by the afternoon. Quick quiz. What is the difference between mercurial and moody? They're very similar, but moody usually implies being gloomy or sulky. Mercurial emphasizes rapid changes, unpredictable changes that can go from happy to sad to angry very quickly. Synonyms of mercurial are volatile, capricious, unpredictable, erratic, and fickle. Antonyms are stable, constant, steady, predictable, and even-tempered. Our next word is morose. A morose person is very sad, gloomy, silent, grumpy, and ill-tempered. They're just not having a bad day. They seem to be in a permanently bad mood and they don't want to talk to anyone. He became morose after he lost his job. Simbi becomes morose every time we take our favorite toy away or if we leave her alone in the house. Quick quiz. Okay, what is the difference between morose and depressed? Depressed is a clinical term for a medical condition. Morose is a personality trait or a temporary mood of being sullen and gloomy. Synonyms of morose are sullen, sulky, gloomy, melancholy, and sour. Antonyms are cheerful, jovial, buoyant, upbeat, and optimistic. Heading to word number 23, maverick. A maverick is an independent person who doesn't follow the crowd. They don't follow the rules, they have their own unique ideas and they are not afraid to be different. Mavericks can be innovators and leaders, but they can also be difficult to manage because they challenge the status quo. Think of Maverick from the movie Top Gun. He's brilliant, but he's a reckless fighter pilot who doesn't follow the rules. Steve Jobs was a maverick who revolutionized the technology industry with his innovative ideas. Synonyms of maverick are individualistic, non-conformist, independent, original, and free spirit. Antonyms are conformist, follower, traditionalist, and sheep. Our next word is pragmatic. Not strictly an M word, but pragmatic is so closely related to all the personality words that I gave it an honorary entry on our M words list. A pragmatic person is practical and a realist. They focus on what works in the real world. They're not talking about what's perfect or theories. They make decisions based on results, not on emotions or ideals. They have the get things done approach to life. Pragmatic people are solution oriented. A pragmatic solution to water shortage is to fix the leaking pipes, not just talk about building new dams. Keep a pragmatic approach to your career. Try to take up a stable job to pay the bills while pursuing your dreams on the side. Quick quiz. What is the difference between pragmatic and practical? They're very similar. Practical is a more general term. Pragmatic is like being slightly more calculating and result focused. Synonyms of pragmatic are practical, realistic, sensible, down to earth, and hard headed. Antonyms are idealistic, unrealistic, impractical, romantic, and quixotic. Our next group of words all relate to clarity, obscurity, and perception. They are manifest, misconception, morality, moot, and remiss. At number 25 is manifest. Manifest means clear and obvious. It's used both as a verb and as an adjective. As a verb, to manifest means to make something clear and visible to others or to turn your idea into reality. When you manifest a dream, you're actively making it happen. As an adjective, if something is manifest, it is very clear and obvious to see or understand. There is no doubt about it. Her happiness was manifest. She was smiling from year to year. He worked hard to manifest his dream of starting his own company. Synonyms of manifest are obvious, evident, clear, plain, apparent, demonstrate, display, show, and exhibit. Antonyms are hidden, obscure, concealed, and unclear. The next word is misconception. A misconception is a wrong belief, a wrong idea that people have because they don't understand the facts correctly. Think of it as a mistake in thinking. Now, misconception is not a lie. It's an honest mistake in thinking. Many people might share the same misconception. Memory hack, break it down. Think of misconception as mis meaning wrong or incorrect, plus concept meaning idea. You have the wrong idea. You misunderstood the main idea. That's a misconception. Example, there is a common misconception that bats are blind. In fact, they can see. Synonyms of misconception are misunderstanding, mistaken belief, false impression, error, and fallacy. Antonyms are truth, fact, certainty, and understanding. The next word is morality. Morality is a set of principles that helps us decide what is right and what is wrong. It is our inner compass, our inner sense of good behavior. Think of your moral science class at school. Example, the story for children was about the morality of telling the truth. Quick quiz, what is the difference between morality and ethics? Morality is often seen as a personal set of beliefs, while ethics is considered as rules provided by an external source, like a profession. Synonyms of morality are ethics, principles, virtue, righteousness, and goodness. Antonyms are immorality, wickedness, sinfulness, and corruption. The next word is moot. Moot has two meanings. One is open to debate or discussion, meaning it's a moot point, it's not yet settled. And the second meaning of moot is having no practical importance, being irrelevant. Now this is a tricky word because its two meanings can be actually seen as opposite. In Old English, a moot point was originally a point that needed to be discussed at a meeting. Over time, it came to mean a point that is not worth discussing. Now that we've chosen a new design, arguing about the old one is a moot point. Whether chocolate or vanilla ice cream is better is a moot question. It depends on personal taste. Which one do you like? Quick quiz. What is the difference between moot and mute? This is a common spelling or meaning error. Mute means silent. Moot means debatable or irrelevant. Synonyms of moot are debatable, irrelevant, academic, purely theoretical and pointless. Antonyms are relevant, settled, decisive and proven. Our next word is remiss. If you're remiss, you're careless about your duties or responsibilities. Maybe you fail to do something that you should have done. It implies a lack of care. Memory hack. Think of a receptionist who missed your call. She was remiss in her duty to answer the phone. I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of you for watching and supporting me. Synonyms of remiss are negligent, neglectful, irresponsible, derelict and lax. Antonyms are careful, diligent, conscientious, attentive and scrupulous. Our final M word for today is mandate. A mandate is like an official order or permission to do something. Think of it as a bossy green light. It's not just a suggestion. It's a powerful, you must do this command from someone in charge. During the pandemic, the government issued a mandate saying that everyone has to wear masks in public places. The winning party had a clear mandate from the people to build new schools and hospitals. My yoga teacher mandated that we all turn off our phones before the class. It wasn't a request, it was mandatory, which means compulsory. Quick quiz. What is the difference between mandate and law? A mandate is often an instruction, but law is the rule itself. Synonyms of mandate are instruction, directive, command, decree, order, authority and authorization. Antonyms are request, suggestion, plea, suggest and advisory. Marvelous, magnificent and momentous. We have learned 30 high frequency words beginning with M and we are all set to crack any exam and sound like a fluent speaker. I will see you on the next one and happy learning.